Well, it's a very rainy day out there this morning. I watched the weather news last night, consulted Windy, had a look at the Apple weather app, and they're all saying the same thing. It's going to be a rocky couple of days. So, haven't done a very much today, except for writing, and that's the thing that I'm talking about today. I've been looking at two things. First one is my working on a knife edge is the title of the Substack that I've written, and it's basically I sit on a Mac and always have done, except for when I was at the university when I had to use whatever they offered most of the time. But to be honest, my home system is a Mac, and I write and save mostly on that. However, there are things that Google offers, which means I have files in both camps. It just has to happen. Gemini is so good that I like to keep things in both camps. Gemini and their offshoot, which is Notebook LM, which I'm going to write about in the next article. In fact, I've drafted a lot of it already. Is unbelievably good. And to make it work better, I often transfer or copy files across from the Mac system, which I prefer, into Google, and I leave files there because it's easier for Gemini to look and to comment on files that I've already written, and it has access to my drive. So I have a dilemma that it's well worth keeping two different systems going, and it works for me. I understand it. I know where things are, and I'm happy with that. Now, if Apple goes towards Gemini for their AI, will that remain the case? I don't know. But whatever Apple does, I'll stick with it. Always have done. They're always slow at going through into new technology. Time and time again, they have waited, watched, played, watched the market, and then come out with something which is often better, sometimes not so, but hey ho, it's the way Apple works, and it's been okay for me, so let's stick with it. So I'll wait and see what happens, and stick with the system I've got running both systems. In the new article after this one, then I'll start to look at how Gemini works, how I use Gemini as a research tool, and how I'm starting to use Notebook LM to do a lot more of the research using the tools that I've already got in Google Docs, because it now loads them up quite easily. And so I can load a whole stack of stuff up. And the last one I did, I had 11 documents or slide systems loaded up, and a couple of docs that was used to formulate a plan. And it's incredibly good. And we'll go through that. Anyway, time being, working on the knife edge, difference between Google and Apple, I sit in both camps. So that's it today. I hope you're well in this very rainy day, and let's see what happens in a couple of days' time, because I think it will change again. But that's the weather. And if you want to know what's really going on, then follow Windy. It is one of the most powerful global weather apps that there is, with so many tools you can flick between cloud cover, what level of rain and temperature it's looking at from zero all the way up through the atmosphere, and you can get a much better feeling of what's going on. But like anything else, it's 2 or 3 days is the maximum that the weather will work on that system, and it's the same for the Beeb and the ITV weather systems. They can only look at 2 or 3 days, and that's about it. Everything after that is pure guesswork. Okay, maybe it's intelligent guesswork, but it's still guesswork. So make your own mind up, use Windy, and let me know how you get on with it. Toodaloo.